I'm Dale Robin Jr. III, and this is Slow to Pro, a YouTube series where I go from slow to still not understanding trail braking. Today we are at Snetterton, and you're going to watch me do my first ever lap at Snetterton. This is an extremely challenging track for me. There's a lot of turning and braking simultaneously, and not a whole lot of straight sections to collect your thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and show you 2 laps of terror where I don't know if it's a hairpin or a full throttle bend that's coming up next. And then I went off camera to watch a video breakdown, which I'll link to in the description. Then I practiced for about an hour or so, tops. Came back the next day, I practiced a little more, took a break, and then went ahead and recorded 2 more laps. If you're new here, which you almost certainly are, subscribe if this sort of content sounds like your thing so you can find your way back. Clicking like is going to make me like you, and a comment from you would be cool since Sheila ain't calling me back. The very first lap I did without incident clocked in at a 155.179, and my personal best currently sits at a 149.659, which is 6.5 seconds off Sheila. My best on-camera time is a 150.127. You'll see that at the end of the video, I believe. So at this point, the low and 50s are my consistent pace. I'm finding Snetterton to be a nightmare. This turn here, it has more bumps in the second half than what Sheila started coming home with. And if you're not careful with the delivery of power, you're going to be sliding like a dollar store Ken Block. This is what they call the Bentley Straight, and this is the only safe space on the circuit. As soon as it's over, you're right back into the jaws of the lion for one of the 2 most challenging spots on the circuit, turns 8 and 9. They're called Brundle and Nelson. I don't know who those guys are, but they had to be dicks. They had to be. They're the reason Sheila had the bumps. I don't like those guys. I don't like their attitudes. They got losers' spirits, and they make me spin the car a lot. It's my fault, but I'm blaming them. Speaking of spinning the car, there I go, spinning the car. And that's what I find to be the most difficult part of Snetterton. Turn 11 and 12. Turn 11 is like a long sweeping turn, and it's really easy for me to have the back end step out on me faster than Sheila did. Turn 11 is still super sketchy for me. Even though I'm somewhat familiar with it now, the way I learned to handle it is by coming off the throttle enough to get a little bit of engine braking, and then downshift into 3rd gear and kind of hold that into turn 12. I don't know if that's the best way, but it's the way I found that worked for me, and until I find a better way to handle turns 11 and 12. My main focus is always consistency. The few races online that I didn't come last in, it's basically because I waited for them to crash. So at this point, it's really rare for me to be gaining time on someone unless there's some sort of position battle or a crash, some kind of incident. I have days of thundered my way through many nasties at Monza already. That's some of the fun, the most fun I've had so far with sim racing, was swerving through crashes. There's some thrilling about seeing a car facing the wrong way and having to make a quick decision on how to get around the mess without becoming a new mess. A little bit more about turn 7 Williams. I really need to practice this one. It's coming up right here. The second half, again, it's bumpy, really bumpy, and it's super crucial because it leads to a long straight. So a fast exit there is really important because you can save a lot of time on the straight. But faster exits were more Sheila's specialty than mine, so I'm still struggling not to spin out. I'm still just struggling in general. I've now logged nearly 48 hours according to Steam. But I really feel like Snetterton was a huge step for me. I know I'm still not fast, Sheila, calm down, but I can definitely feel my left leg starting to figure out how to better adjust the brakes on the fly. So I figure if I can make it through Snetterton, I really can't imagine a more difficult series of twists unless I ignore the end of my marriage. So here comes the end of my first complete lap without going off track, and it's a very, very slow 155.179. And now we're going to go ahead and jump ahead to my fast laps. Heavy emphasis on the word my, because these are definitely not fast laps, but they most certainly are my fast laps. So overall, I think I have like a love-hate relationship with Snetterton. When I can get Zabina to do the things I want, Snetterton can be a thrill to go around. but mostly I can't. It's too wild for me. Take me back to Monza. I'm gonna let the rest of the video play out because I don't have much else to say other than I need more practice. Again, if you want to find your way back, subscribe. If you like this sort of content, click like. And I'm gonna take Sheila's advice and shut up, but you can feel free to leave a comment down below.
Sector 1 is a tenth off your best. Sector 2 time is okay. Time was at 150.13. That's your fastest lap today.